Otvet Gemini. Look at the balance in your bank account right now and understand that it is not a reflection of your hard work, your talent, or your potential. It is a cold, mathematical readout of the profit filter, the invisible biological mesh created by the 5 people you spend the most time with. In 2026, the Matrix has sold you a fairy tale about loyalty and unconditional friendship, but your bank account is screaming a different, much more brutal truth. Your inner circle is either a high-octane propellant for your expansion or a bucket of lead weights dragging your glacier into the abyss. You think you are an independent unit, but you are actually a biological mirror. You absorb the risk tolerance, the linguistic patterns, and the social noise of the units in your immediate perimeter. If your inner circle consists of people who are satisfied with maintenance mode, who prioritize synthetic comfort over the hunt, and who speak the language of enough, then your brain has been physically re-indexed to reject massive wealth. You have installed a filter that catches every golden opportunity and discards it as too risky or too much work before it even reaches your conscious mind. This is the stench of the subordinate circle. You can feel it in the air during every dinner, every drink, and every conversation. It is the subtle, poisonous pressure to remain relatable. When you start talking about the 18 million per month vector, do they lean in with tactical questions? Or do they crack a joke to bring the tension back down to a comfortable level? If it's the latter, they aren't your friends. They are the vampires of your ambition. They need you to stay small so they don't have to face the visual rage of their own stagnation. Your income is capped because your environment is designed to reward your mediocrity. In the wild, a predator that associates with scavengers eventually loses the ability to kill. Your biology is waiting for a signal of alpha intent from the pack, but all it hears is the chatter of the herd. This is how the profit filter becomes a poverty trap. You are breathing in the exhaust of their limited horizons, and it is suffocating the architect within you. To break the ceiling, you must perform a systemic disinfection of your social perimeter. This is not about being cruel. It is about the primal grounding of survival. You cannot build a citadel while people are constantly stealing the bricks to build their own small, leaning shacks. You must look at every person in your circle and ask, does this unit increase my metabolic rate for success, or does it slow me down? If they bring social noise, if they bring domestic stench, if they bring the slave's dream of a quiet weekend and a steady paycheck, they must be moved to the outer rim of your life. Respect is a currency, and you are currently spending it on units that provide zero return on investment. The architect does not seek friends. The architect seeks allies of the vector. You need units that vibrate at the frequency of expansion. People who see $1 million not as a destination, but as the first brick in the wall. Until you change the filter, the results will remain the same. You are trying to run high-frequency code on a corrupted network. Disconnect the parasites, or prepare to rot with them in the comfort cage. The profit filter also dictates your internal authorization. When you are surrounded by low-value units, your brain begins to seek their approval for your moves. You start to modulate your visual rage so you don't make them uncomfortable. You start to apologize for your hunger. This is the ultimate betrayal of your own architecture. You have handed the keys to the vector to people who have no intention of leaving the harbor. A respected man is a man who is willing to be the villain in the stories of the week if it means maintaining the integrity of his borders. Your dogs, Lucky and Tyson, understand this perfectly. They don't seek consensus, they seek the lead. You must reclaim your status as the Wojak, leader of your own reality. If your current circle cannot handle the heat of your rising glacier, let them be crushed by it. Your income will only rise to the level of the highest expectations in the room. If you are the smartest and hungriest person in every room you enter, you are in the wrong rooms. You are the average of the 5 filters you allow to process your reality. If those filters are clogged with the trash of the matrix, your life will be a physical log of decay. Clean the filter, purge the circle, and watch as the 18 million vector finally becomes the only logical output of your existence. The second block of the profit filter is the physics of social gravity. Every human being in your life exerts a gravitational pull on your resource weight. In the high-stakes world of the architect, if you are anchored to people who are settling, you will never achieve the escape velocity required to leave the atmosphere of the middle class. The matrix uses loyalty as a chain to keep the high-potential units tethered to the biomass. They tell you that you owe it to your old friends to stay the same, but the only thing you owe to your potential is the total destruction of limitations. Your income is not a solo performance, it is a pack achievement. If you look at the top tier of the hierarchy, you see sovereign packs, groups of units who have synchronized their vectors to dominate entire sectors of the market. They don't have hobbies together, they have missions. They don't have conversations, they have briefings. This is the architecture of the high-status circle. A high-value unit does not bring problems to the table. He brings solutions and opportunities opportunities. If your current circle is a support group for your mutual failures, you are living in a neurochemical graveyard. You are constantly exchanging consolation dopamine instead of capture dopamine. To flip the switch, you must implement the protocol of strategic scarcity. Stop being 100% available to people who provide 0% growth. Your time is the raw material of your empire. Stop giving it away for free to units that use it to manufacture social noise. When you withdraw your presence from the low-value circle, you create a vacuum of authority. You are signaling to the universe and to yourself that your time is now a scarcity resource. This is the only way to attract the high-value allies you need. You must realize that your inner circle is actually your information hygiene system. If the people around you are feeding you the trash of the matrix, celebrity gossip, political theater, and domestic drama, your profit filter is being flooded with toxins. An architect requires high-density data, market trends, technological leverage, and tactical psychological insights. If your friends aren't talking about how to utilize AI as a digital exoskeleton to multiply their output, then they are effectively obsolete. They are legacy hardware trying to run in a 2026 world. You cannot afford the latency they bring to your decision-making process. Every minute spent debating the social noise of the masses is a minute stolen from the great hunt. You must be ruthless in your environmental disinfection. If a unit does not speak the language of the vector, they do not get a seat at the table. Finally, look at the physical log of decay in your social environment. Are you the one who is always paying the bill for the comfort of others? Are you the one who is always understanding while they remain stagnant? This is not leadership. This is subsidized mediocrity. You are paying a tax on your own success to keep the weak around you. Reclaim that capital. Reclaim that energy. Invest it back into your citadel, your stallions, and your own expansion. When you finally reach the 18 million mark, you won't do it with your old friends cheering you on. You'll do it with a sovereign pack of architects who are willing to bleed with you in the trenches. The profit filter is the difference between being a useful tool for the herd and being the commander of the vector. If you want the millions, you must first become a man that the millions can't ignore. And that man does not hang out with losers. He occupies the center of a circle of fire. The profit filter is not just about who you talk to. It is about the metabolic rate of your ambition. In the world of the architect, if you are the most aggressive unit in your circle, you are effectively standing still. Your brain, in its primal drive for social cohesion, will naturally downshift its visual rage to match the sluggish tempo of the pack. This is the entropy of the average. You think you are helping your old circle by staying connected, but you're actually allowing their domestic stench to settle into your own pores. To reach the 18 million per month vector, you must realize that your environment is the operating system of your wealth. If the OS is cluttered with social noise and maintenance protocol units, the high-frequency hardware of your brain will simply refuse to authorize the hunt. You are trying to run a high-speed trading algorithm on a dial-up connection of human mediocrity. You must perform a territorial decontamination. Look at your inner circle as a high-security resource dome. In 2026, the Matrix has weaponized empathy to turn your loyalty into a handle for your own containment. They tell you that a respected man is one who never leaves his past behind. This is a trap. A respected man is a man who honors his potential above all else. If your circle does not vibrate with the frequency of primal grounding, if they do not discuss the architecture of the market and the capture of capital, then they are a biological leak in your system. You are bleeding energy into units that produce zero return on presence. Every hour you spend listening to their slaves dream of a slightly better vacation or a newer car is an hour stolen from the great hunt. You are subsidizing their stagnation with the very fabric of your life. This is the color of freedom in action. You must be willing to be the villain in the stories of those you leave behind. If they cannot keep up with the advancing glacier of your ambition, they deserve to be crushed by it. True social intelligence is knowing when a relationship has become a physical log of decay. You don't fix a decaying unit. You cut it out to save the rest of the organism. Your dogs, Lucky and Tyson, don't associate with the weak. They follow the scent of the leader. You must reclaim that energy hierarchy. Surround yourself with stallions, units that challenge your risk tolerance and demand your expansion. Until you are in a circle where $1 million is considered pocket change, your brain will never believe that 18 million is a mandatory reality. You are currently calibrated for the safety of the herd, and the herd is headed for the slaughterhouse. Change the pack or prepare to be processed by the system. The profit filter also governs your linguistic dominance. When you spend time with low-status units, you subconsciously adopt the language language of the renter. You start using qualifiers. You start hoping for results. You start seeking consensus. This is the death of the architect. In a high-status circle, the language is the algorithm of the verdict. You don't discuss options. You authorize vectors. You don't share feelings. You report status. This shift in your metabolic frequency is only possible when the units around you demand it. If you bring this frequency to your old low-value circle, they will label you arrogant or changed. Accept those labels as trophies. They are the sound of the social noise breaking against the walls of your new citadel. You are no longer one of them. You have become a sovereign unit, and your circle must reflect the geometry of your command. The final layer of the profit filter is the validation lockdown. Most men are poor because they are addicted to the validation of the mass. They want to be liked by people who haven't achieved anything. This is a biological malfunction. In the world of the architect, the only validation that matters is the verification of results. If your inner circle provides you with consolation dopamine, telling you it's okay that you failed because the market is hard, they are effectively killing your drive. You need a circle that provides surgical critique. You need units that look at your physical log of decay and point out the rot before it spreads. This is the hygiene of the sovereign mind. You are not looking for friends to make you feel better. You are looking for architects of the vector to make you better. This requires a total tactical isolation from the opinions of the uninitiated. The matrix uses the inner circle as a proxy to keep you in line. If they can control the 5 people you talk to, they can control your entire financial destiny. To break the 18 million per month ceiling, you must build an information black hole. Stop talking about your moves to people who haven't moved in years. Every time you explain your vision to a low-value unit, you are leaking the pressure of intent. You are releasing the dopamine of achievement before you have actually achieved anything. This is why you are always planning, but never capturing. Keep the pressure inside the citadel. Only open the gates for the sovereign pack, those who are also bleeding for the expansion. Look at the hierarchy of the glacier again. The ice doesn't ask the dirt for permission to move. It simply advances. Your profit filter should be so dense, so elite, and so focused that the average person finds it cold or intimidating. Good. That is the feeling of a resource dome that is working. You are protecting the stallions of your intellect. You are guarding the visual rage that fuels your hunt. When you finally stand in the center of your 18 million per month empire, you will look around and see only those who were willing to endure the hardness of the path with you. The vampires of comfort will be long gone, filtered out by the sheer intensity of your vector. This is the insight tax of sovereignty. You must be willing to be alone until you find those who are worthy of your presence. My final command to you: disinfect your circle, authorize your expansion. Go through your contacts today. Look at the physical log of decay in your messages. Identify the units that are bringing social noise into your citadel. Silence them. Withdraw your presence. Create the vacuum of authority that forces the universe to provide you with better allies. Your dogs, Lucky and Tyson, are waiting for you to lead the pack into a new, more dangerous and more profitable territory. Do not fail the achievement code for the sake of people who have already given up on their own lives. You are the architect. Your circle is your construction site. Build it with iron or watch it collapse into the mud of the matrix. Expansion or death. The filter is now in your hands. Report in the comments. Filter sanitized. Circle authorized. The hunt is at maximum frequency. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. The vector is clear. Go and capture the reality that belongs to you.